Welcome to Seniors at Play. I'm your host, Cassandra Bonholm, and today we have Lucy Mitchell. She's a retired sexton from Princeton University. Welcome, Lucy.
Thank you,
It's
Cassandra.
nice to have you here with me today. So tell me, what did you do as a sexton at Princeton University?
Well, as a sexton, I worked in the Princeton University chapel.
Okay.
And what we did was all the setups and all the cleanups. We took care of all the concerts, all the graduations, which was a lot at Princeton. Because, you know, like Princeton University, West Windsor University, the Bible class, a lot of people graduated from there. Plus, they had concerts.
Oh, wow.
So there was two of us. We worked 10 days and had 4 off. So we would rotate. So it was a very good position because we was there. We was the only staff that was there through every concert and everything. We were the one that was more or less seeing that everybody was there would abide to the chapel's rules and regulations.
Okay. And how many years did you do that for?
I did that for 24 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's a long time.
Yes, it was. And it was a very good job because I worked with a staff. I worked with, like, we had the head of the direction of the choir, the executive director, and 2 deans, and organists. And we was a team. We worked together.
Right. And how long have you been retired now?
I've been retired for 4 years.
Okay. So how's that been?
That's been great.
Okay.
That's been really great.
Has it?
I mean, it's wonderful to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Mm-hmm. And I feel my days good. You know, you have to have balance. Mm-hmm. And I think I've always wanted to be a homemaker.
Okay.
And then, you know, when you was raising your children and working and trying to, when I'm a divorcee, but I was married, trying to, you know, take care of your household and everything. It's very hard to do all you want to for your family.
Right.
And after you retire, you get a chance to, because I have grown children and grown grandchildren.
Very nice.
So I could do all the homemaking I want to do.
Right. So when it was time for you, so now you retired at what age?
73.
73. So did you plan for that? Were you ready for it? Were you looking forward to it? Were you anxious about it?
Well, I don't think I was anxious about it, but when the time came, I knew it was the time, because people would ask me, when are you going to retire? When are you going to retire? And it got to such I would say a hassle, that I would just tell them I'm not going to retire. And that would just shut the conversation down.
Right. That's a little annoying.
But it was very good, because I was retired, you know, collecting a paycheck and Social Security. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I was living the life.
Right.
And I had never really prepared for financially, because I was more concerned in my younger years about living then.
Right.
Like, my children always went to private schools. Mm-hmm. I was more concerned about their education than how happy I was going to be when I retired.
Right.
And I always felt like you should live for the day. Mm. And we did.
You never know. You not promised tomorrow, right?
And another thing, I don't know where these people get the concept that they're going to do so much when they retire, like they're going to do all this traveling and everything. Mother Nature is going to catch up with you.
Right.
I mean, she's going to win, because I had a thing. You know, I was going to fight Mother Nature all the way, honey, and I had a good head start on it, too. I mean, I was doing very well.
Right.
But eventually, she's going to win.
Right.
So you might well make your life comfortable, you know, and do what you can do. And I think I did that. I mean, I traveled a lot, you know, before I retired.
Right.
And I still travel, but, you know, not in excess. I don't stay gone.
Right.
I have a balance, I think. I have my senior citizen programs. Mm-hmm. We have one at my church, and we have one in the community, Hamilton Township. And they keep you busy.
Yeah. What do you do? Like, what fills up your days now that you're not working 10 days straight? Or what fills up your days?
Well, I have a garden. I have a yard.
Oh, nice.
I have a 10-room house.
10 rooms?
Yes.
By yourself?
Well, I have a daughter and 2 grandchildren that live with me.
Okay, very nice.
But they work, too, so they're out of the house a lot. So I'm doing fine in there. And then I have my church, which I be there all day Sunday. Mm-hmm. And then we have our senior meetings on Wednesday. And then the rest of the week I could go to Hamilton, but I don't, because I have other things to do. So 2 days a week I go to Hamilton, and they you know, they got everything out there in their community room. They got, you know, you can go in the pool, you can play bingo, and the computer room. They are very well for the seniors.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So before the show, you were talking to me about a trip you just took to New Orleans. How was that?
That was great, and it was for seniors, but it was a 9-day trip on a bus. And that's the only thing was that was a little negative, because you have to realize being on a bus and being a senior, because, you know,
That's a
sometimes you
hassle.
get a little,
Right.
yes, but the trip was great.
Yeah.
The trip was great. We went to New Orleans, and we seen all the tours, like the, what would you call it, the graveyards with the graves on top.
Oh, right.
And the plantations and the museums and everything. So it was a great trip, the French Quarters. So I enjoyed it, but I was so glad to get home.
I can imagine. So you mentioned that your daughter and 2 granddaughters live with you. How is it on your family with you being around all the time? You find that they depend on you more now that you're always around, because they kind of grew up with you always working, like the 10 days are on and 4 days off. So how is it now that your life has kind of changed?
Well, then since they're not there, they don't even really know, you know.
Right.
As long as when they come in the house all clean and everything.
Right.
The food is not done now. I don't go that far.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, I don't go that far. But so they're quite satisfied with it, and they got such a busy life of their own.
But it's nice to still have them around.
Oh, yes.
Because you have 10. I can imagine 10 rooms by yourself would
Yeah,
be
well,
kind
there's
of
4 bedrooms, and there's 4 of us. So.
Right,
And,
so you're
but
good.
It's great, yes.
That's wonderful. And you mentioned church activities. So tell me more. You said you're there all day on Sunday?
Yes, well, we have we have duties that we have to do, and our duty compel us to be there all day. 'Cause
Wow.
we have 4 services.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so
You're there all day.
yes.
So that keeps you busy. So
Yeah.
it's like you're retired, but not really, because like having to be somewhere
yes,
all day on a
I'm
Sunday
retired. I'm
is a
retired.
job.
Yeah, I'm just living the life I want to live.
Right.
I'm just being where I want to be.
Right, very nice. Very
So,
nice.
and that's the whole thing about retirement. You know what's a great thing when you get up in the morning and you have this to-do list, and at the top of your to-do list is whatever I want to do.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I
Yes.
can't wait.
Yeah.
So you mentioned, how old are you now?
I'm 70. Oh, I get confused.
Oh.
The only way I remember is I keep saying December the 7th, 2017, I'll be 77.
Oh, wow,
Okay.
77. So what are your plans now so 77, you look amazing for 77. What else do you want to do with it? Like,
I wanna
with your
do,
retirement
you
time?
know what? I want to get myself in a health program, and that when I turn 80, I want to make the 80s the new 60s.
80's a new 60. I like that. 80's a new 60. I turned 40 recently, and I kept telling me 40's a new 20. So I like that. 80's a new 60.
Yes,
I like
and
that.
I'm gonna do all I can to,
Right.
to do
Good
it.
for you.
And that's the best thing about seniors. You have to take care of yourself, and you have to be happy.
Right.
Whatever it takes to make you happy, you be happy.
Right.
Yeah,
That's important.
because you're only coming this way one time.
Right. So you always travel. You always like to travel. Are you still interested in traveling? And, are you looking to go out of the country, do more things like that?
No, I never was interested in going out the country,
You
but I
wanna
have
stay.
been to Hawaii and
Okay.
Alaska and things like that. But I'm not interested in going out the country. And you'll be surprised that I'm not interested even in traveling.
Really?
I have friends who like to travel.
So you just go with it.
Because I can.
Okay. Good for you. Right. That's a goal in life, because I can. So then what else do you want to do with the rest? I mean, the program sounds nice, but what else do you want to do with the rest of your, every day, your day-to-day life? Like,
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing.
That's
Just whatever comes up. Like if I cut something that come up to again tomorrow that I find something new that I enjoy, I'll do that. But right now, like I say, I'm not a great gardener, and I hate to tell people this because when they come to my house, they expect to see all these
right.
gorgeous flowers and everything. But I'll be saying, like I stay in my gardens 2 hours a day.
Right. Well, that's a lot of time.
That's a lot of
That's a lot
time.
of
But
time.
I don't know where's the results because I don't really have a green thumb.
Right.
But I enjoy even in the leaf season. I just go out there and pick up the leaves.
That's
although
nice. It could be calming, right?
Yeah, very.
So are your friends retired?
Yes.
Yes. So that's nice. So you guys chat all day, or what do they do?
No, I don't know exactly what they do, but that's the funny thing. If we're not on a trip or something, sometimes we don't see each other, all week until Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, because all of us got our own life.
Right.
Yeah.
So you kind of catch up on Sundays.
Yes, and
Well,
then
that's
if we
nice.
want to go on a trip or somewhere, just like we had 2 friends that retired. One went to Georgia and one went to North Carolina, and we was very good friends, And so I think it was year before last. One of them had a birthday, and we just met in Vegas for her birthday.
Vegas,
yes.
that's nice.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
tell me about Vegas. How was that?
Well, I've been in Vegas about 10 times, so
Really?
it's just Vegas.
Do you like it? You like Vegas?
Yeah, well, it's exciting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's exciting. And so, but next year they said we just heard from them, and they said we might go on a cruise next year so we can meet up together, just so we can see together, because we were friends for years. And then they retired and moved out of the area.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
So any big plans for turning 80?
Just being, what is that? What was I had to tell everybody about my bucket list? I have a bucket list.
Oh, tell me about that. I want to hear this
It's only
bucket
got
list.
2 things on it.
Oh, okay.
Rich and skinny.
That's it. That should be nice. That seems
that's my bucket list.
So how are we getting rich? What's the get rich plan?
Well, at this stage, there's not many ways I can get rich,
Right.
unless I got some long lost millionaire. So I play the lottery now and then when it get big enough to make me rich.
Right.
And but my girlfriend told me the other day. She said, "Lucy, you're already rich.
Right.
All you have to do is get skinny."
There you go. That's exciting. So tell me, what else? So you were born and raised here in New Jersey.
Yes.
So as far as traveling goes, there's no family to go visit or go see anywhere.
No. And then I've always thought about my children. You know how people send their children down south. Never had anybody down south or nowhere, because my mother was born here.
Oh, okay.
And my grandmother was born in North Carolina, but she was here because so when I was very young, we used to go on vacations, and everybody in the job they going to see their mother, and they going to visit this. Yeah, I'm going to see my mother right around the corner.
Right.
So, and my children didn't have nobody to go to, because we didn't have anybody out of town to go to.
Right.
And I'm telling you the truth, that my grandmother, she wouldn't take us down south because of the area, at the times.
Right.
And so she said she would never take us down there. She would go back to visit, but she wouldn't take us. So the only time I got to go down south was in my later years when I joined the Friendship Baptist Church. And our pastor was a traveler. And that's when I really got to go all over the South and everywhere. We did a lot of traveling, a lot of visiting. So, and that was good. That was good for me.
That's nice.
Because otherwise, I would have even never started to travel. I would have just, one thing, I was scared to drive over bridges, so I wasn't going to drive anywhere.
Right.
And then when you have 3 kids, you don't travel as much as you do when you're alone.
Right. I can imagine. Right. So, do you miss working? Do you miss?
No. I'm sorry.
That's very direct.
I work with wonderful people, and the chapel is the beautiful place you want to be. You ever been there?
Yes.
And you know how pretty that
it's
is.
Beautiful there.
So it would be, and the staff there, I mean, like we was there to do a job, and we worked for facilities. So some people would think like we were just a janitor. They didn't think like that. We was a team.
Right.
And they were so nice to us. When they went to lunch, we went to lunch.
Right.
And when they had any kind of gatherings, and it was just, and I miss my partner. I had a partner, Bernie. He was the nicest person you want to meet. He was so nice. So we just had a good environment to work in.
Now, is he retired as well?
You know what? It's a shame. Bernie was much younger than me.
Oh, okay.
But they told me it was 2 months after I left there, Bernie had to leave.
Oh, no.
But he had physical problems.
Okay.
Yeah. But I talked to him on the phone about once a year, on his birthday, though. But that was a shame, though, yeah. So we kind of left together.
Right, wow. So you said you managed the events and all that stuff. Have you been back to any events since you've left?
It's a shame, and they have great events.
Right, you mentioned that earlier. So
they have such great events, but I haven't been back. I'll tell you what I did go back to. I had a Dean Blanks. She was one of the deans, and she had an hour for power on Wednesday. And I did go back to that a couple times, and I went back to visit the chapel staff a couple times. But I never went to the event, and I always said I would go.
Right.
I always said I would go back.
It sounds like you put on an amazing show, so I'm shocked that you don't visit.
Yeah.
So tell me more about the event that you put on at Princeton University.
Well, it was like I say, a lot of graduations, and you had to put up with the children, and I learned a lot about putting up with disagreeable circumstances.
Right.
But it was very because I love one thing about the kids in Princeton. I always I was saying the children from other places would come there, and I was saying, why these kids act like that? Because Princeton children don't act like that. And I found out the answer because I only dealt with the kids in Princeton that went to church.
Oh, right,
so it
right.
made a great difference.
So they were a little bit more behaved.
It made a great difference. Yes,
right.
they was. And then, and like I say, when they had all these events, there was no staff there. And then when it was a big one, we both were. But otherwise, we would be the only staff there.
Wow.
And then telling you, it would be like it would be really crowded.
10 days a week, 8 hours a day, or would you work more than that?
Oh, we would work more than that.
Wow.
Yeah. There was one time when my partner was sick and he couldn't work, and I worked for about 2 months straight, 7 days a week, and all the overtime. But believe me, I could have got an armor truck to go to the bank.
So when you originally transitioned from working every day to, being retired, was that like a huge adjustment for you, or did you just wake up the next day like, I'm just going to sit down and have a cup of coffee?
Yeah, it was not an adjustment. No,
wow.
It was not. It was, I guess, because like I say, I didn't retire till I was 73, so I was ready.
Right.
I mean, so it wasn't like, I know some people retire at 62 and everything, but see, they plan to do something else.
Right. You had no plans.
Yeah, I had no plans. I never planned to go back to work.
Right.
But if I do, it would, I don't think it'd be from boredom.
No.
It would be for like, I might need more money to do what I want to do, but
right.
it won't be from boredom.
Right, right.
Yeah. But so far it's been great. But you know what? Because like I told you, I wasn't quite prepared financially because I'd never been a saver because I wanted to spend my money on what I thought was important at the time.
At the time, right.
So I always had something for a rainy day, but I would have never saved up enough to live on.
Right.
So I'm so glad. I think, what was it, 1936, when President Roosevelt made the Social Security?
Right.
I'm grateful.
That works out to your advantage now.
Yes.
Right.
And then with the pension on top of that, yes. So sometimes if you don't have, you don't always have to have the plan. Sometimes it's made for you.
It's made
and
for
mine
you.
was made for me.
Right.
Yes.
And it seems like you're just enjoying life now.
Yes, I am.
That's
yes,
nice. What else do you want to do though? You have to have other plans other than being skinny and rich.
Why? Why would I have
nothing else?
Because I really don't. What would you suggest?
Well, no,
what would you suggest? And if it was you,
no, I want to retire soon.
No, what do you think you want to do when you retire?
I would want to travel. I love to travel.
Okay.
But I know that I hear, like, I talk to people, because I'm a designer, by trade. So I work with people and they say, well, after I retired, I just found myself so bored, or I just didn't like the routine. And, everybody wants it. So it was like trying to find new hobbies or new things to do. Or are you trying to find new hobbies?
No,
or is it like I'm content with what
I'm
doing? Yeah. So you find a lot of times, like, especially lonely people, I guess, some of the people I might be talking about might be lonely.
People that's not involved with
right.
things.
They don't have other activities. So it's like they're just constantly trying to find something else to do.
I don't want to put nobody down about it because everybody got to do what's best for them.
Right.
But I feel so sorry for those people that if they think ain't nothing to life but working, they got a problem.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's true.
Because if all you got is a job, because you got family and everything, you know that you need to communicate with and everything. And my family, we go places a lot. Like what was that? What would you call that place that you go where you gotta find your way out?
Escape room?
Escape room.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
It was. Yeah, so we do, we have family gatherings, we play games together and everything, and they have their life too.
Right.
So, and that's why I'm so glad that I have my own friends. So it makes,
good.
You have to make
That's
a life.
an important tip for life in general, because I do know people who don't really have friends outside of work, right?
Yeah, but I tell them all the time, I knew some people that when I was working with them, they seemed, lonely and I say, all you need is some friends. All I say, join the church. Join the church. Get in different activities. All you need. You don't. They, especially if they lose a companion. And then I say, you know what? You can do more than have a companion. Just have you some friends.
Right.
Have you some friends, and maybe a companion will come out of that. You
right.
know, you don't have to be lonely and sad. Not in the world as big as this.
No. Right. Find you somebody to have a cup of coffee with.
Yeah.
Right. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, all you have to do is, have people around you. Find the people that you're comfortable with. That's all you have to do. And you can make some friends. And because I thought I would be the last one to make friends, because to me, I am not that friendly. But I
You
have
seem very
always,
friendly.
but I have always had friends. And
Really?
sometimes I wonder how they put up with me.
Right.
But I wonder the same thing about them, how I put up with them.
Right. So this trip you took to New Orleans, you took it with friends. How long? Like how long were you friends? Or like these lifelong friends or new friends? And
No, they're not new friends. I'm gonna tell you the truth. The friends that we have, and we got a little group called the Golden Girls, and we are really friends. We've been friends for 30 or
The
40
Golden
years,
Girls.
and there's only like 5 of us, but we are true friends, you know. And we do things together, and when we do things apart, like you know, sometimes we used to go to movies and plays together. We don't do that no more, so we do something else, and we might not go as much as we want to. But I always say that, you know, if you find yourself in a position that you don't get along with your friends anymore, find some new friends.
Right.
That's all.
Do you think that's still easy to do at your age?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where do you find these new friends?
In the church.
Because I tell you, at 40, I find it hard to make friends. I guess because I'm less trusting of people. Like you say, it's hard for you to make friends. It's hard for me to make friends because I don't really trust people.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe in the church, that's a good place to find friends.
Yeah, and even if you don't have to be overwhelmingly friendly, just, you know, I mean, after all, you don't have to. They don't have to know all your business and everything.
Right.
You just, like you say, go out and have a cup of coffee together.
Right.
That's all. You
Very
know,
nice.
You're not looking for a mate.
Right. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Very good. Well, Lucy, it has been wonderful talking to you. I thank you so much. This was our first episode. You have been an amazing, amazing guest. And hopefully this show is still going in 3 years. In 3 years, you'll be 80, right?
Yes.
And you can tell me all about being skinny and
Well,
rich.
you'll see it. You'll be able to see it. I'll be back and I'll be on camera and you can
Wonderful.
see me.
Wonderful.
And you can see the new 60.
Wonderful. 80s and the 60s. That's wonderful. I love it. Thank you so much.
Okay. It was nice talking to you, Cassandra.
Thank you.